Stagger Swagger, and 1-2 Punch start. So we could see a Juliet picked up to take use of that 1-2 Punch. Or actually, we have the whole draft here. So no Juliet picked up. Taking a look, it is a Juno and Aimee ban. An Asher pickup for Calamities, most likely going over to... Oh, it's an Asher and an Atlas picked up. So it's going to be Natty on the Atlas, Asher for 3Z Breezy, and then Cardbox pivoting his well-known Octavia. And then on the other side of things, we have for Demons RAAAAHHH, the Kai plus Mako plus Zentaro combination. Kai Noob on the Kai, on this little bit of a speed character that he knows how to pilot so well. Gumi playing the Mako here to enhance the speed even more, and then Snake on Zentaro this time around. Everyone taking pretty standard awakenings here. One thing I like is that, or one of the things that you come to know when you are offered a Stagger Swagger start plus another start is that you kind of just are forced to take Stagger Swagger on everyone, because the person who doesn't take it ends up being the ire of all the damage. They just become the target of everything.
Yeah, absolutely. And makes it tough. I mean, you could have nobody take it, I suppose, but that's probably missing out on a fair bit of opportunity here. It's just better to be fast, better to be sustainable. And that's going to be what both these teams are looking for here. Cosmic Calamities holding on for now. Snake back on his Zentaro, though. Looked so good on this one last week. Love to see Snake busting out the Zentaro yet again. And they've got their full squad here today as well. Have been forced to play with some subs in the first couple of weeks. So this is going to be an exciting one to check out now that Gumi is back on the roster. But as I say that, Core's coming too fast. Gumi can't get back to it.
Sent from the energy burst over to the top corner, gets the bounce and gets in. One thing that you did mention about the substitutes, a funny, I guess, anecdote is that this combination of Demons RAAAAHH members are currently have not won a match, but with the substitute they have won. So let's see if maybe these new members of Demons RAAAAHH can pull out a victory. Otherwise, they're gonna have to go back to the previous roster.
Yeah, very possibly. We'll find out here. Cardbox finding a little KO there onto the bottom side. Take Kai Noob off the map, and Gumi playing Mako. How the Mighty have fallen. Have this one trying to hold things down here and going to be able to go in for the flip. Deflected away, though, by Natty's placement of the Astral Projection. Making a big difference, and 3Z's ready to just move it right on into the goal. It's 2-0 for Cosmic Calamities.
A phenomenal pass there from Cardbox on the flip. Gets it to 3Z perfectly where he can take the strike where he wants it to. Doesn't need any abilities on the Asher to score, and gets it right below Gumi, who was hoping that 3Z would strike it a little bit more up. And even then, a phenomenal play in general from Calamity, starting off 2-0 as the aggression's coming through. First barrier being dropped from the Asher there with the help of Cardbox. No abilities really used in general. 3Z doing what 3Z does and waiting for the pass to come to him. Knows that he can trust his teammates to get it through. But as I say, that second barrier dropped. Energy Burst comes out for Snake. Isn't able to connect. The path splitter coming through. Stalls a little bit, but not enough. Cardbox uses the flow state. Is actually able to keep it up. I thought it was going to drop there. Keeps it up a little bit longer with the primary, and is trying his best to just keep the passing going. You have so much speed on the Octavia, but when you don't have the Chrono Boost or Castellast, it ends pretty quickly there. And we see that he wasn't able to maintain it the entire time. But as we go back into the play, it is still advantage for Demons RAAAAHH as they try to get their first point in the set.
That is where we're going to try to find what they can do. Kai Noob moving it down towards the bottom. Snake with the slashing strike, nearly ready, tries to take it through. Even a nice deflection off of that bottom terrain is not enough for them to actually be able to come on up with the point. Now Cardbox looking to steal it away and move it in for a 3-0. Addy not quite connecting with that strike shot. Kai Noob and Snake advancing forward again, looking to see if they can close the point out. But it's still Cardbox disrupting what they go for. But it's still Snake trying to get the ricochets into the favor that he wants them, but so far just hasn't been able to produce anything. It's going to be Snake trying to take it on towards the bottom. Cardbox still there, fends it down, sends it over towards 3Z. 3Z waiting to push in for the goal again, connects with the barrier beam, dashing forward, has access to the energy burst too. Snake, now with an energy burst of his own, could try to close it out here. The passing play deflected by Cardbox again. And still holding on are Cosmic Calamities. Finally, Snake will be able to find a shot into a corner that Natty can't reach and take the first point for Demons RAAAAHH.
using the side street barrier or the obstacle there to set up a dribble for himself forces Natty to walk up and then opens the bottom part of the goal for him. A good play from Snake to recognize how to maneuver that point without any abilities there, or how to maneuver that offense. But we have the flow state popped. Cardbox, low on stagger, has the stagger swagger available to him, and is now trying to keep his flow state up to gain as much speed as possible. He pops the energy burst, which allows him to reset the flow state once again. One barrier drop, 3Z Breezy, picking up the enemy health orb, and we can see Cardbox reaching that kind of momentum, or that maximum speed as he's forced to drop back a little bit. And one of the benefits of playing Octavia on this start is Octavia's downside, or typically one of the downsides of Octavia, is that you have one of the lowest staggers in the entire game. But when you have an Awakening like Stagger Swagger to help you keep up, you deny, or you allow the positives to outweigh the negatives way more. And we can see that if he gets even a single one of those buff duration Awakenings in Castellass or Chrono Boost, it's going to be really tough for Demons RAAAAHH to get it around him, because he'll have so much more time to keep up that flow state.
Yeah, and already a character that can really take advantage of some of that additional movement speed that she's ending up with as well, thanks to the way the beat drop works. But Gumi setting up, coming out of the goal arc and getting it into the bottom left. Nice shot there from him, and going to be able to tie things up at 2-2. We're going to 0.5 on our very first set of the showdown between Cosmic Calamities and Demons RAAAAHH.
Gumi just can't keep himself in the net, has to walk up there, and that's one of the reasons why Demons RAAAAHH has made such an aggressive play in these last few seasons. One of the teams that knows has to play the offense better than anyone else here. But when you do that, sometimes your barriers fall, and that's how the playstyle works. Gumi has to defend an open net here with Mako. He is walking up a little bit far. A stray hit can send it in, but I don't think anyone has the core speed to do so. But as I say that, Asher walks up, has the energy burst, no abilities available, and the energy burst actually knocks back Gumi to cancel out the drum and bass there, which prevents him from hitting the core at all. And a simple core flip, enough to secure that point, giving them the lead in this set. Demons RAAAAHH down as we go into set number 2. Taking a look at what will be taken away, it's going to be Perfect Form will not make its way to the clutches of Snake there. Centauro will not be seeing it. Knife's Edge picked up instead. A great pickup here on this map when you're so close to the edge with all the map variants. Besides that, another Dash Awakening going over to Octavia here. I shouldn't say another. The first Dash Awakening gone over. We're still looking out for that Castellass Chrono Boost, but still a great pickup in general, enhancing the speed of the flow state. Other than that, pretty standard stuff. Gumi has a little bit of quicker cooldowns there on the lockdown, or sorry, on the Mako ultimate with extra special, and then a spark picked up for 3Z Breezy.
Absolutely. And 3Z doing a solid job of just being in position and closing out these points in set number 1 to see if he can keep on keeping on that pressure on towards the reigning champs. It's Demons RAAAAHH definitely looking like they're having a little trouble putting things together in game number 1, and see if that continues to be the case here as we get into our second set. Snake going to be able to take that nice shot up towards the top to be able to get themselves on towards the first barrier. Kainoob keeping the pressure on, trying to force it in for a second. Nice defense from Natty and Cardbox, though. The movement speed there afforded by Cardbox going to let him keep up that defense just a little bit more effectively. Snake going into the Oni's Blade, getting them chunked down as much as he can, but there's that base drop, nearly taking Snake off the top side. Kainoob fending in from the bottom, trying to help them on out, get that barrier. 3Z with the energy burst available. Cardbox waiting for the cooldown on their own flow state. Snake sneaks it through, nearly able to push it in. Getting another shot here as Kainoob sends him the core right back. Cleared out again by Natty, and without access to resources, it's just difficult for them to really be able to do anything to push these on through. Kainoob the next one up to bat, but it's actually 3Z who gets the setup here to be able to take down the second barrier and takes it all the way through. As soon as the ensnare drums are gone, 3Z sends it through and gets the first point for Cosmic Calamity.
Forcing it through, one of the things that Asher does best, and no energy burst needed. I'm just gonna keep left clicking this in, and eventually it'll go through. And yes, the ensnare jump's unable to prevent 3Z from getting it. One barrier drop. A lot of damage coming out onto Gumi here. And Kainoob doing, I mean, that was demonic what Kainoob just did. Ran right into the energy orb, or the health orb, denied it from Gumi. But regardless, on the defensive, or on the counterplay, able to get both barriers here. Gates open on the side of Calamities. But Natty has access to energy burst with an orb pickup, or just a quick touch of any ability there. As the Path Splitter comes out, great positioning there, is able to get that bottom barrier, unable to get through 3Z, but a great awareness to push away the members of Demons RAAAAHHH and allow Cardbox to shoot the goal.
Really nicely done again, Cardbox. Setting up into a great position, and Cosmic Calamities firing on all cylinders here in this game number 1, just making Demons RAAAAHHH look foolish in a lot of these scenarios. A nice block away by Natty yet again, just holding down the fort on this Atlas as long as is necessary. The astral projections, the strike shots, everything right where it needs to be, and Snake is off the map. A power play here for Cosmic Calamities as they try to amp things up and get themselves a sweep of set number 2, and it looks like they just might be able to do it. Snake is back and available, but the offense is still in the favor of Cosmic Calamities. Another barrier beam from 3Z Breezy could be able to send this through. Dodges out on the ensnare drums. Gumi trying to clear it, will be able to do so and hang on for now, but it's still the brawl at midfield over the core for who's actually going to be able to take a turn, trying to take down this last barrier for each side. It's Snake trying to push it on out, but the astral projection going to knock him back away. Giga Blast trying to push it into their favor too. Snake not going to be able to hold on to it though. Cardbox going to take it off the bumper, get it back up to 3Z, and there's the energy burst used by Gumi just to try to clear things out, but 3Z's got an energy burst of his own, manages to dash forward, take the second barrier. The Ricochet going to take one on the opposite side. It's open goals for both teams, but 3Z with the energy burst available throws down the Path Splitter. Beautifully set up, and a 3-0 set to Cosmic Calamities.
I wasn't sure what 3Z was aiming for there with that shot up to the top, but when the Path Splitter came out, he knew that there's no way Gumi is getting through all this. The airship has landed, and now it is 2-0 for Cosmic Calamity, rewarded for their endeavors. Castellast makes their way over to Cardbox here, paired with 1 Dash Awakening and a Stagger Swagger. This is going to be really tough going forward. The Octavia has scaled. Level 8 has the most EXP out of anyone in the game. 3Z Breezy on the Asher with the Size Awakening. Asher, one of the best characters in the game to utilize Size Awakenings. Besides that, just a Stagger Awakening going over to Kainu. Snake does manage to get Super Surge, which is a really big pickup there for the Zentaro, but in general, the Awakenings for Calamities are looking way better. We even have Twin Drive. Followed up with a KO going over. This set is starting off strong like the previous one. We're doing a good job of holding it down for now, but Gumi is looking low. Stagger Swagger has to pop to help keep him up a little bit here as the second barrier drops. Slow State keeps up. Cardbox doing a great job of keeping up the pressure, and 3Z Breezy sitting right on top of Gumi, making it so hard for the Mako to play. Just shoving, like, just no way to breathe in general. And Gumi, level 6, the lowest of anyone in the entire game, is just not really able to get it out, or not able to clear it from the pressure of both Cardbox and 3Z.
Yeah, and already on the board again, 2 goals to go, and this will be a clean sweep of a game for Cosmic Calamities. Just performing at their peak right now, really running Demons RAAAAHHH around the map, and showing how powerful this Octavia can be when you get the right awakenings for her, able to get their pick of the litter multiple times, and this is just such a powerful set of awakenings. It doesn't really get any better than this. You get a couple more awakenings yourself, perhaps, to push it a little bit further, but just as far as how far ahead you are from the field, how much far ahead you are from the average result in set number 3, it doesn't get much better.
Yeah, and even with 3Z Breezy taking it down, the flow state reaching its maximum potential here. Cardbox going at insane speed. Checking out the speed, he's nearly at 1,000 speed in general, can go higher with the slick kicks. As the second barrier dropped, as it goes toward the bottom, bouncing it off the middle expansion, unable to get the point there, but trying to set it up with the primary, not finding it yet. 3Z Breezy goes for the shot back to the net, gets it out. Gumi doing a good job of clearing it out, but the expanse comes through, the double expanse, one from Atlas, one from the center, able to hold it down just for a little bit longer, and I love the expanse to keep Cardbox up. Has the Stagger Swagger, but even then was looking a little bit low. 3Z trying to go for the back pass to bounce it over to himself, and digs it through. All 3 members of Demons RAAAAHHH gets it in. 3Z Breezy on the Asher, showing it how it's done.
Doing so well on this Asher pick. Really finding themselves a solid matchup up against Gumi's Mako, and constantly able to just push through the impenetrable drum and bass that's been such a thorn in the side of so many forwards since Mako's been released, really. It's been such a big force in NASL, especially one of the hardest goalies to be able to outplay, win a strike war with, and get a goal on through. The Asher, one of the characters that can do it in the right scenarios, and 3Z has just been playing it so well, nearly ready to take game number 1 home for the team. But it does get deflected away, not quite able to be pushed past Gumi. It's an open goal, though. Snake trying to take things back, trying to break the loss streak for Demons RAAAAHH and keep a reverse sweep alive for game number 1. But the options are dwindling. Kainoob facing one-on-one with 3Z. Breezy getting pushed back away by the barrier beam. Snake trying to set up for another rush, but it's 3Z in the goal arc, dashing forward, throws it past Gumi. No energy burst used. 3-0 for Cosmic Calamities as they take game number 1.
Stunned away. Gumi unable to use the energy burst. Try to hold on to it as long as possible. But when Asher has that many hit stun abilities, you just can't hold on enough. Or you have to pop it earlier than that. Looking at the stats here, we have once again not even a single set taken over to Demons RAAAAHH. It was the first 2 points that made its way over, and looking like the Modern Magic game from before, a consecutive, not 9 points, but the last 2 sets went straight into the favor of Calamities here, and a quick game 1. Looking at game number 2 here, we have to see what the next map is. It is going to be Calamities map, going over to Oni Village, opting in for a bigger map, something that Demons RAAAAHH has typically been a little bit weaker in general. They tend to opt in for the smaller maps, for maps that they can apply more offensive pressure in, get some more KOs in. So let's see if that still holds up to today. Maybe they fix some of their issues on the bigger maps and are completely fine here. But if Calamities are opting in for this map, they gotta have some sort of practice or preparation strategy prepped for this match.
And we haven't been doing our traditional pre-shows for the last couple of weeks here, Mystic, but it's time to have the conversation. Are Cosmic Calamities favorites in NASL right now? They've already taken down Sad Boys. They're doing really well against Demons RAAAAHH right now. If they go 3-0 here, especially off of a sweep against Demons RAAAAHH, it's very hard to make a case against this team.
Yeah, and I was talking about the strength of schedule in the previous series with Modern Magic. This is another case where if Calamities takes both Sad Boys and Demons RAAAAHH,
and Modern Magic, who are no pushovers either,
again, then the teams that have left, or I should say the quality of the teams that have gone up in NASL, it seems like the edges are kind of crunching in towards the middle. We no longer have these completely stompy games where it is just Sad Boys and Demons RAAAAHH, or if anything, they are still stompy, but the coins have been flipped all of a sudden, and it is no longer Demons RAAAAHH and Sad Boys at the top. Although Sad Boys has their 1-1 record and can bring it over to 2-1, Demons RAAAAHH is 1 game away from going 1-2, being negative in NASL, which I don't know, besides going 0-1 week 1, I don't know if they've ever been negative like this before. They have to dig it out.
I want to say they have, but it's been like playing with a bunch of subs and stuff. It's been like, some unfortunate scenarios. Not like this. This is going to be very different and shaping up to be a very different NASL season if the records continue to show the way that they are right now. Hopefully going to be getting on to the map for Oni Village here before too long and seeing Cosmic Calamities can keep this up with a different start.
Yeah, and taking a look at the stats of the last game here, and seeing what we can adjust for the map pickup. Depending on the start, you might see another card box Octavia again. So if it's anything like Stagger, if it is a Spark, if it's not Spark of Strength, and it is a Dash Awakening, or it is any form of Stagger, card box will most likely lock in the Octavia. We saw it work here just fine. It works even better on an open map when you have plenty of time to get the passes between yourself and the goalie. You can kind of just shoot it off into space. No one else can catch up to you, and you as the Octavia can go pick up the core yourself, continue the pressure. 3C doing phenomenal job on the Asher here, but a little bit harder to get it done on Oni Village. Can still get it done with the Asher just fine. I think Asher is a perfectly good pickup there, but some of the other picks that we tend to see on Oni Village for the brawler position are the Zentaro, and specifically the Rasmus and the Kazan, which 3Z has a phenomenal Kazan, and I'd love to see that come out. One of those things where you have the crooked leverage to kind of mix up the goalie to force out an ability and then go for the play on the barrier. And then again, Oni Village being one of those maps where if you are a good lockdown goalie, such as the Atlas, such as the Dubu, such as the Asher, you can do a fantastic job of holding it down one barrier, which is what Natty can specialize in just fine, being one of the best melee goalies in this entire league. So we see the draft come up. We have a perfect form and Deadeye pickup. This is something that actually is going to favor Demons RAAAAHH more than it favors Calamities. The members of Demons RAAAAHH can utilize these awakenings more, something like the Kazan on the perfect form, or Snake on the Zentaro, again, utilizing that perfect form. Pair that with the Deadeye pickup from the midfield position, whether it's the Aimi on the midfield on Kainub or Aimi on Gumi if it doesn't get banned away. And we also have Gumi, who is really good on the Luna. Not sure if he's going to pick it up here, but these are all picks that Demons RAAAAHH are happy to utilize, or these are awakenings that Demons RAAAAHH would love to see.
Yeah, absolutely. Here, I mean, definitely going to expect to see from Gumi, especially making good use of that Deadeye. Always at his best when he's able to, show a little bit of like what we saw from Modern Magic at the beginning of the day, where they're able to get out of the goal arc, get involved in the offensive plays, be that high-scoring goalie, have a ton of redirects, keep up the score in that department, and that's something that I always look at for Gumi when it comes to the end of every NASL season is his count for the amount that he touches the core, the amount of damage he does, the amount of goals he scores. They are off the charts for the goalie position. He is far and away the most involved goalie on offense in the North American Strikers League. And last split or last season was the funny thing was last season was the first time that other people started to catch up to his numbers. Right, it was players like the Sad Boys, right, and You Already Lose started to catch up to like season 3 Gumi numbers, and Gumi just shot right past him and broke his own records again and again. Yep. He's so involved and continues to find ways to get more involved with each passing season, and this is going to be a great opportunity for him to show that.
So we have some news. You're going to see it soon, but there is a substitution being made. I don't personally know the reason, but Gumi will not be playing game number 2 here for Oni Village or for the rest of the series, I assume. But at least for this game, Hungry Boy will be coming in. And let's see if if
forget everything I just said. Yep. Forget my whole spiel I've been killing time with for like the last 3 to 4 minutes. Let's talk about something else. Let's talk about Snake. I don't know.
Well, I can say, I mentioned it as the game started, this combination of players is undefeated. So maybe Hungry Boy is the key.
So it's going to be Hungry Boy at midfield, and they're going to move
Kainub
to goalie.
That is what happened last time. Might happen again. One of the things that you can expect to ban, I think they were just waiting to start the ban until they knew who the starting roster is. But we're actually taking away the Zentaro perfect form, which leaves up Aimi for Demons RAAAAHH if they choose to take it. Taking a look at what was picked first, the Atlas was banned away, so Calamities will not have that access to them. Instead, the Mako will make its way over, which perfectly fine as well. Can't be upset getting a Mako on Oni Village. The second pick taking a little bit longer. Not sure what they're going to grab here for the brawler position, but I think I was saying before, I think it could be the Asher or since the Zentaro was banned away, could be the Kazan as well, making its debut in this series. Besides that, and there's the Kazan. The pick 1 for Demons RAAAAHH is Kai, so most likely going to be Kai Aimi, with Aimi being over to Hungry Boy, and then Kai on Kainub.
Yeah, I mean, you could switch those up too if that's the preference, but it could be either kind of order.
Yeah.
Snake going to go for that Juliet here, an old classic for him. Cosmic Calamities taking that Kazan, so you're going to get to see the 3Z Kazan that you were so excited for, Mystic, and going to be paired on up with that Mako in the goal. See what the midfield choice is going to be. Looking like it's going to be that Now.
The Now, another speed character, can utilize the Mako speed just well. Has a blink on the ultimate to get around the map, and then has a speed on themselves with the mines. Pair that with the drones that you can place out to help block some of the clear angles. Now is a perfectly good pickup here. Something that we just don't see this map as much picked in general, but I'm curious to see what kind of strategies they have in mind. But like I said, I think the Kazan is going to be really powerful here, paired with any size awakening that if they manage to get down the line, makes it really hard to deal with. That crooked leverage just in front of the net is something that is so frustrating as a goalie when you're forced to use your barrage or any ability, and then the Kazan just yanks it away and then shoots it into a different direction. And yeah, like I said, 3Z is really good on this Kazan. So let's see if he can pull up to my expectations and pull a win for Calamities, making them 3-0 if they manage to take this game over Demons RAAAAHH.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be some really impressive stuff if they're able to have such an explosive start here, especially having to kind of retool their roster here, right? 3Z coming in off of last call, having played on a different team last season, and then Cardbox having not played on a starting roster at all last season, coming off of the Eras Kitten Club bench, a place that appears to have plentiful resources based on what we just got to see in game number 1 or series number 1. EKC really, they got some whole extra NASL squads sitting on the bench over the course of the last couple seasons.
Yeah, doing a good job of finding the talent, getting them to get the playtime as well. And yeah, I'm sure Cardbox is happy for all the NASL playtime he managed to get there last season. And now we are loading into the next game. Looks like everything is set up. Let's see if the Kai and the Aimi go to those respective positions of goalie and midfield. Can swap it around, but I think Hungry Boy is really good on the Aimi, so most likely will let it slide that way. Yeah, looks like Kai Noob will be locking in the Kai instead. Prefers that on the goalie. I'm pretty sure he'd be happy with the Aimi here, but perfect form or Deadeye Kai is going to do just fine. Everyone locked in, and we have. I'm curious to see what Hungry Boy is going to take between the perfect form and the Deadeye. You would assume it's going to be Deadeye, but he's one of the best users of perfect form. So okay, I'm actually happy he did this instead of Deadeye. The Firewall Sentry is an ability that can replenish your primary and secondary at the speed of light because they are not light hits, they are heavy hits. And because of that, oh my goodness, Snake finding a KO immediately with the Juliet, but there it is, 3Z Breezy getting in the dash, gets it both barriers in between before Kainu able to defend, and then both barriers being traded right back by Snake. Point starting off really quick. I wasn't expecting the barriers to drop like this, Gordo. Everything's being all over the place as Cardbox returns from the afterlife here, and there it is, the crooked leverage, finding it from the top and shoots it right into Kainu. Kainu not able to barrage fast enough. Actually goes for the strike barrage. I think if you just barrage first, would have reached it.
Yeah, 3Z stalling out on that additional strike just a little bit longer, ends up juking him out, ends up finding themselves the opportunity to be able to take that one into the goal. Cardbox helping out there, and really nicely done from Cosmic Calamities to start off this game number 2 on the right foot for them. Substitution coming through, but not letting themselves reset the momentum, immediately keeping on with the scoring that defined game number 1 for them. And now another double barrier, another quick score being hunted for. 3Z with the crooked leverage, looking for the top spin. Can't quite push it through, but now getting it passed over to him again. He's going to get another round here before Long Snake, though, with a quick KO, utilizing that energy burst, but it's 3Z again. Hungry Boy can't get back fast enough. Kai Noob with no right answers. 2-0 Cosmic Calamities.
And this is exactly what I was talking about, Gordo. The Kazan with the crooked leverage is one of those characters that doesn't really feel like a brawler. He has so much core control. He has transitioned so far away from the character that just ability dumps you, although those games can still happen. But he's just now a brawler that has so much reach over everything with his strikes in the close form, able to get both barriers again. 2-0 lead in this set. Hungry Boy looking low, and we can see the forcing out the energy burst from Kainoob. Hungry Boy trying to get into a position where he can use his own to maybe break that last barrier. Snake doing his best, has been finding these KOs of both points in a row, but it just hasn't led to anything, as 3Z, if the ball even gets close to him on an open net, can try to make a strong play for the goal.
Definitely can here. Oh, Cardbox coming on out to try to help out with the lifeline. Snake gonna get chucked away. And Natty going to be able to use the energy burst, push Snake away yet again, setting up 3Z. Potentially close it out, but they manage to keep the core up towards the top side, keep that Kazan from getting involved for as long as they can. Another disruption of a well-placed glitch pop from Hungry Boy, and the second barrier will fall. Natty can't hang on. Hungry Boy will be able to push it through and get the first point for Demons RAAAAHH in a long while.
That was the drone, the primary from Now, that scored the goal. A little bit of friendly fire there as Cardbox used it, sending it backwards to try to hit one of the members of Demons RAAAAHH, but missed, and then it just stuck there and prevented Natty from clearing it out. I've been in that situation a few times. I've been told, hey, just try not to use Now abilities backwards if you can, because you might end up in a situation like that.
Not
but even
use
then,
Now abilities.
We gotta not send them backwards to prevent to protect your own goal, Gordo.
Yeah, no, you're definitely in the right there, Mystic. But unthinkable for those who've been playing now for a long time, I'm sure. Natty setting up to be able to get it back over to Cardbox, and Kainu with a nice little flip just sends it right through, and we're on to point number 5 in this set number 1.
There's so much trust that he would be able to break into the net there. He actually foregone his eject button and stayed up to help score that goal. If that play did not work out, that was point over for Demons RAAAAHH. But starting off a quick turnaround to get this into a 2-2 situation as Hungry Boy breaks down one barrier, tries to find the other one with the energy burst, isn't able to get it. Reverse coming out from, or the counter attack coming out from Calamities as they try to clear this out, but Cardbox having trouble getting it past Snake, tries to get it over to the other side, going to 3Z instead. Snake uses the flurry, isn't able to connect, but a good attempt nonetheless as 3Z Breezy tries to go for some of these abilities with the perfect form, can spam them a little bit more thanks to having 6 abilities available to him on this Kazan character with both forms. And yeah, we're just seeing, a good pass going over from Cardbox over to 3Z, isn't able to find the barrier, but the offensive pressure is coming out for Calamities.
Definitely. And an exchange of blows. Very dangerous here for, well, as I say it, there's the KO found on towards Snake. He's been staggered for a while, and they finally do manage to get the job done. Now, will they be able to move this into a set 1 win for the Cosmic Calamities? That's what remains to be seen. Hungry Boy still disrupting these passing lanes. Finally, 3Z going to be able to find the poke in onto the second barrier. Looking to be able to take it home for the score. Doesn't land a crooked leverage. Goes in for the spin and can't find it there. Cardbox back over with the lifeline, trying to keep 3Z topped on off. He goes for the poke, doesn't get it into the goal. Fended back away by Cardbox, trying to pass it on over. There's going to be the flip, there's going to be the poke. It's up towards the top. It's the Cardbox who can't get the shot through. 3Z takes another one. Kainu able to flip it back away, and will keep this point alive. Hungry Boy now going to be staggered at risk of being taken down by a quick maddening descent from 3Z. Crooked leverage not going to be able to connect on a Hungry Boy or onto the core, so no play to be set up from it. Drum and Bass clearing it back on over, trying to get into Cardbox hands. Cardbox just cannot manage to push it through. As I say that, finally getting it over to 3Z, but the top spin not going to be enough, and the crooked leverage just keeps barely falling short. It's not getting out of this core. It's not setting up these combos, dribbling it off the top. Cardbox takes another shot in. Won't be able to get through. Natty getting pushed on back by the likes of Snake, using that energy burst. So much damage. Cardbox is barely still standing. 3Z's down. Snake takes it home, and it's first set to Demons RAAAAHH.
Oh my goodness, the amount of damage Snake dealt in that moment when he was stuck in the ensnare drums, used the flip, gets so much done. KO happens onto 3Z Breezy. Cardbox was looking low as well, and it was only the members of Demons RAAAAHH standing in the end with Natty and 1 strike shot, unable to find the core, and a reverse 3-0 in that first set as Demons RAAAAHH with their undefeated roster coming out strong in the second half of set number 1. Taking a look at what the awakenings are, it's going to be rapid fire over for Kainu, paired with the perfect form. It's going to be up nearly all the time. Taking a look at everything else, we have Egoist over to the now. Sai's going to the big fish. Can't let the Kazan have that, but Kazan is happy with the 1-2 punch. And Snare Drums is going to be up at the start of every single kickoff, thanks to the Happy Star. And then the last member being Snake getting the Twin Drive, which honestly, not the worst thing you can get, since Juliet cares so much about having the dash punch available, and the dash being about twice the length of the punch. You can be using the Twin Drive pretty effectively.
And Natty's still fending these away, just barely. A quick double barrier found by Demons RAAAAHH to kick on off this point, but there's going to be 3Z finding the second barrier, using that closed umbrella to its fullest, finding the poke through into the awkward angles, but Snake gets it past Natty. Natty a little too far down, can't get back to the core in time.
Unable to get it, and a good dash punch there to Sakura. Having one more dash does help out. I hope Snake, I was actually talking to him about this earlier today, how Juliet don't like to take dash awakenings that much, and I know Snake is one of the few Juliets who will take the dash awakenings when presented, so a little bit of Shaolin action if it makes a way through. I hope he does manage to find something like a Super Surge or an explosive entrance there to help secure some of these Twin Drive plays that he has. Goes for a second dash punch, isn't able to find it, looking really low. Natty trying to find the KO onto him, isn't able to get it. The Giga Blast comes out, finds the KO. onto card box 3v2 situation here. They don't have their barriers, but they have the man advantage. Although Snake is looking really low, trying to find the position there, gets it with just the dash. Kainu walking up, uses the energy burst, isn't able to get it. The eject button expired, has to walk all the way back. Snake in the net, the crooked leverage yanks it out of Kainu, and because the Juliet is in the net, does not have the abilities to reach the core.
Really good stuff here. That is going to be excellently played by 3Z to be able to close things out for the squad. Now locking down Snake, setting up for him to be able to take that top barrier. 3Z moving it down towards the bottom, trying to push it in for that other one. But now it's just going to be a double barrier over to Snake yet again, nearly getting his dash punch through. And once again, it's Demons taking both barriers in no time at all. Let's see if Cosmic Calamities can stage the comeback yet again, but this has been such a difficult position that they keep finding themselves in. Nice send out of the ensnare drums, going to buy a little bit of time, going to reset things, but it gets right back over to Snake either way. 3Z nearly taken off the top, getting hit by so many of these skills, forced to use the burst just to get himself out of dodge. These glitch pops just keep connecting alongside the Giga Blast, and Natty in a 1 versus 3 in the net will be able to clear it down towards the bottom. Snake going in for another, pushes Natty out of the way, and that is going to be the point to Hungry Boy.
Everything coming down, and this is the plays that I love to see on the Kai. One of the best effects, or one of the best positives of Kai, is when paired with the eject button, you can rush up, and your barrage is a skill that is meant to break barriers and to score goals. One of the hardest abilities there to defend against as a goalie. And when you are a goalie yourself, the only way to utilize it is to get up in their face. So has it for both defense and offense, paired with a rapid fire, paired with a perfect form. We'll have it on deck to use at any time, really, especially if you get something like a prime time to go along with it. And almost all the points scored by Demons RAAAAHHH were because Kainu was rushing up through the eject button. Whether he stayed with or without the eject button didn't matter. He's just going for the plays, going for the offense there. Finds the second barrier with the help of his teammates. Natty looking low, has to go pick up an energy orb to help heal up. Snake sitting around the top doing what Snake does best, but a good drone stuns Kainu to allow the barrier to drop. 3Z Breezy coming back, looking for a crooked leverage play, trying to get his best going here, as Snake is just unrelenting pressure on top of Natty. You know that if the core gets anywhere near Snake, a dash punch is coming out and the point is going in.
Yeah, and it very well might be the case right here. Sent down towards the bottom. 3Z coming back out, trying to find the score. Top spin forward. Well positioned, but can't get past Kainoob, who still manages to hold on. And this could be a 2-0 lead to Demons RAAAAHHH, fighting their way back in game number 2. And it's going to have to be a reverse sweep for Cosmic Calamities, or we are going to be going to game number 3, Mystic.
And taking a look at what's happening here in the draft, what will everyone be rewarded for? Team player on an open map, going over to the goalie of Demons RAAAAHHH, which is Kainoob this game. A phenomenal pickup there. You know that's going to make such a big difference on how the pace of the game is going to go. 3Z Breezy looking for what to take here. Honestly, it's a tough pickup if you're the brawler. I think they're going to let the Catalyst try to fall through onto card box, but denied away from Hungry Boy. Instead, Knife's Edge going to be picked up on the Kazan. A little bit of self-awakening there as he takes his own picture. Taking a look at everything else, we have the Unstoppable going over to Julie, which is going to help even more on the dash punch. It helps stop some of the offense that Natty can provide, especially with the primary, to no longer hit stun Snake as he goes for some of these dash punch. But starting off strong for Calamities as we get 1 barrier and a kill. The second barrier dropped as well. 3v2 play. Not all members of Demons RAAAAHHH are available. And a simple pass down to card box rather than egoing for the brawler shot. I love that from 3Z, sending it down, allowing his midfielder to score there. And I like the positioning from card box in general to be aware of where he needed to stand to allow some of these goal opportunities to come through. Taking a look, another barrier being fallen really quickly as 3Z Breezy tries to go for the second one. And we're seeing Calamities come back strong. As I say that, the Giga Blast comes out, Gordo. 3Z's gone.
Yeah, 3Z going to be off the map for a little while. Looking strong, though. Still found an early barrier. Going to be respawning in a couple of seconds. And Cardbox doing a good job with the dribble, buying a lot of time here, faking out Hungry Boy and Snake a couple of times in that interaction. And a nice ricochet off 3Z. Going to be able to send it in towards that second barrier. Snake, though, coming in hot, looking for the score. Finds it with a KO to back it up. And we'll tie things up in set number 3, Demons RAAAAHHH.
That's the double dash. Julie coming in, 1 dash punch to get the barrier flip, second dash to help score the goal. And that's actually one of the issues that brawlers have when going for these energy burst plays after taking a barrier is you dump your abilities to get the barrier, you pop the energy burst, and then you don't have anything up to actually push it through into the net. And we saw the twin drive getting its value there just fine. Once again, going through, Hungry Boy goes for the energy burst flip, tries to find the shot onto the net, isn't able to get it thanks to Natty, but Snake prepared, trying to do his best here, but no, it slips right through the defense of Demons RAAAAHH. Topspin comes out, isn't able to connect, but Demons RAAAAHH have to do their best to hold down an open net. Kainu usually doesn't care about these situations. If he finds an eject button play, he's going in. And so far, they're doing a good job of keeping up the pressure. Natty has the energy burst, forced to use it. Snake finding the counter attack there, gets the barrier, open net. Snake is really close to an energy burst of his own. If the core gets up, he has the dash punch here, and it's going in. Oh my god, rare mistake.
A little too early.
Yeah.
Didn't get it onto the core, and that might end up making the difference here. That might end up giving a lead in this set. Back over to Cosmic Calamities if they're able to remount themselves in offense. Snake has the energy burst. He's ready to go for it. Takes it through. Blocked away by Natty. Sent back in by Hungry Boy, but Cardbox is able to send it back away. It's going to be Cardbox and 3Z now, combining forces, looking to close out the point, dribbling it off the bottom. The flip from Cardbox will send it into the goal, and it's 2-1. Cosmic Calamities aren't done yet.
And it really did come down to that missed dash punch there, I believe. If Snake managed to connect with that, that would have been the point going over to Demons RAAAAHH, giving them the lead in this set. But it could be time for a reversal for Calamities coming through. They did pick this map. This is their choice. Hungry Boy with a great flip, manages to get the second barrier, opens it up, trying to get 2-2 in this set to finish off the game. Can Demons RAAAAHH push it up? Kainu doesn't have the eject button available. He just pops it now, but doesn't even need it. 2-2. Still has the energy burst available for next point.
2-2-2, and a 0.5 that may take Demons RAAAAHH up to game number 3 if they're able to come up with it. Still an attempted fight back from Cosmic Calamities, though. Things are not done yet for them. They have the chance to be able to take this to at least a set number 4 and to keep their dreams of being able to sweep this series alive. Sent down towards the bottom, 3Z moving on up. Looking to be able to send it in towards that barrier, and Demons RAAAAHH looking so much better now with this new iteration of the roster coming on through, what they've been playing on more frequently, what they've been finding wins on, and looking like they are ready to find another one, but they lose their second barrier. 3Z can close this one out here, just needs the flip, sent back through by Natty, can't quite get it in range. And they're just going to use the flip there aggressively. 3Z brawling with Snake and Kainu. Flip comes through from Snake, ricochets off the top, brawling for it now. Everybody in the center trying to get their hands on it. Neither going to be able to move it too much further. It is going to be Cardbox trying to take it on towards the bottom. 3Z gets it with the crooked leverage, but sends it a bit too far behind himself. Natty redirects. 3Z going in for the poke, but it's fended away by Kainoob as well. Cardbox trying to set up the offense. Hungry Boy comes out, isn't quite able to find his way onto the core. 3Z try to disrupt them with the top spin, goes in for another poke, can't get it in to the goal. Cardbox now with flip available, going to use it to pass it to 3Z. 3Z tries to send it through. It's bouncing up and down, but it does not go into the goal. And it's snare drums from Natty, going to need to buy themselves just a little bit of additional time. Drone doesn't find its way out of the core either. 3Z finally takes the shot from midfield, wins the set for Cosmic Calamities, and takes us to set 4.
A 1-2 punch, close form, just sending a little too fast there for Kainoob to get, but that previous play on the net, I'm surprised that they managed to dig it out there. That was really impressive from Kainoob on defense. Taking a look at the first win of this match in terms of stats, going over to Calamities. Rewarded for the now is going to be the Monu, a great pickup there. Not as oppressive as it was before the changes, where they made the now secondary no longer a heavy hit. It is now a light hit. One of the big benefits of the Monu was it just allowed so much hits done going through. Besides that, more size again on Hungry Boy, 2 size awakenings, which means all that is left is Rampage. I'm not sure if it's made its way through, but taking a look at everything else, Kainu has the Chrono Boost, one of Kai's best awakenings here, and you're going to see how well he uses it on offense, already getting 1 barrier. Second barrier being found with the help of Hungry Boy and Snake as he tries to go for the point. Gets bounced back by the ensnare jumps, but the second strike able to send it through.
Nice score there from Snake. Quick and easy for the Demons RAAAAHH side to take the lead in set number 4. See if this last Awakening draft is what has pushed them over the edge. Nice little poke from 3Z, going to be able to find the early second barrier. He's trying to take it for a second. Top spin, not quite connecting the way he wants. Maddening Descent sends the core in the wrong direction, sets up Snake to be able to take a barrier of his own. And Freezy and Cardbox just need to find that offense groove the way that it was working for them earlier in this game and keep it going throughout the entirety of a set. Cardbox staggered, nearly taken off the map, still able to hang on for now. And 3Z try to take it back out over to the left.
Manages to get it with the punch. A Snake on the Juliet there breaks the barrier. One of the things that Mako has a hard time dealing with is Juliet specifically because of the hit stun on all the abilities that Juliet can provide. But doing a good job holding down the defense, has to force to use the energy burst. Cardbox looking low, uses the elusive, Stagger Striker healing back up. 3Z Breezy looking for a shot here. 1-2 punch is available, but we're not in overtime yet, so the core isn't going as fast as he'd like. 5 more seconds to speed up the core. Team player is active for Kainoob. If he ends up sending the core to one of them, one of the forwards, it's going to go really fast into the corner pocket. Manages to get around Natty. Wasn't expecting to be shot right back up there.
Yeah, they created themselves such a beautiful opportunity there for 3Z, but Kainoob is able to read the situation, wins out the 50-50, blocks the shot, and finds Demons RAAAAHHH now up 2-0 with a shot to win. Game number 2. Snake takes both barriers, and Snake
what just happened?
Closes it out. What a move from Snake there. 3-0 set to Demons RAAAAHHH, and we're going to game 3, Mystic.
A dominating game on Oni Village, the map selected by Calamities, going over to Demons RAAAAHHH after a substitute from losing game 1. Gumi steps out, Kainoob in the net, Hungry Boy coming into the midfield, and I said it before, but this is an undefeated roster so far for Demons RAAAAHHH. If they win this, that is going to be 2 victories for Hungry Boy, which has given Demons RAAAAHH some surprising wins in this set, or in this NASL series, I should say.
Maybe Hungry Boy's rookie the split, you know?
He could be.
He's playing a lot, and he's playing very well for this Demons RAAAAHH squad. Subbing in on the reigning champs and now finding himself multiple wins. Looking to see if he can close out this series for the squad and make this a win up against the undefeated Cosmic Calamities team. That would be huge for Demons RAAAAHH. It would put them right back up towards the top of the standings. And it would start to make some very interesting conversations become the focus of the community when we talk about what this roster is going to look like next week.
Taking a look at what we're going into for Game 3, we have an Atlas Lab pickup for the final map that was selected over. One of the things that Calamities likes to do on this map is put 3Z on the Luna, depending on the starting awakening there. And then Cardbox still has access to the Octavia if he chooses to go that route. I'm sure Natty is going to be happy with any of the defensive goalies, whether it's Asher, Mako, or Atlas being selected. So one of those 3 you can expect to go over to Natty. And then besides that, if they don't go for the Luna or the Octavia, expect something similar between the Asher, maybe going back over to 3Z in the forward position, or the Zentaro. I would say more play going over for that. The Snake looking just fine on the Juliet there. I'm pretty sure he'll be happy to play either the Snake, not Snake play the Snake, Snake being happy to play either the Zentaro or Julie himself. And I would expect something similar in the net. Maybe you ban out the Aimee. I'm not sure what the pick is going to be here for the ban position against Demons RAAAAHH. If you ban out the Aimee, you take it away from both Kainoob and Hungry Boy and then force Hungry Boy onto a different pick. He is known for his Aimee back in the solo queue days. So let's see how well he can adapt beyond that if that is taken away.
Yeah, this is Atlas's lab draft as the decider match, so going to be a different look for both of these teams than what we've played on so far. And now, what will the priority fall under? I mean, we know it's going to be the same rosters as in game number 2, so no roster changes this time around. Hopefully going to be able to find out what these starting awakenings are before too long and see who the priority is going to be for, and whether or not they're going to keep these same bans, taking away stuff like that Zentaro that could have been such a threat.
Yeah, I completely agree there. Waiting on what the starting awakenings are to see. We do get a Deadeye and Pancakes pickup. So with the Deadeye start, things like the Luna are on the table, the Aimee are on the table, even the Vice is available. Kai with Giga can utilize it just well. Even some of the brawlers can utilize the Deadeye, such as Rasmus on the Pendulum Swing and the Death Touch can utilize this very well. So this will change things up. I think this makes it so that 3Z is more likely to lean into the Luna if available. Maybe the Aimee ban goes out if you're Calamities and then you lock in the Luna yourself. And besides that, Not sure if or which Deadeye user Cardbox has up his sleeve, if he has maybe like a Vice available to him or something else. But actually opting in for the Juno ban, I'm surprised to see that.
Yeah, an interesting one to see come through here for sure. Ra going to take away the Atlas, so probably a pair of goalies, maybe a midfielder in theory with both of them. Technically, we've seen some midfield Atlases from Demons RAAAAHH in particular before, but there's going to be a Aimi lock in to start things off. That's going over to Cosmic Calamities. There's that Luna for Demons RAAAAHH. No Gumi this time though, and now going to be Asher with them as well.
Yeah, and taking a look, the Asher Luna picked up, which means the Luna can be going, most likely it's going to be Asher, Natty, then Luna on 3Z, and then we're still looking for a midfield pickup. The Aimi going right back over, can be going to either Hungry Boy or Kainoob. This is just a flex pick between them, but most likely onto honestly, at this point, I'm not sure because you can have the Estelle goalie just fine. I think Kainu plays the Estelle goalie great, but maybe he wants to go in for the Aimi goalie and then Estelle going over to Hungry Boy, and then Snake is going to be on the Juliet. And Juliet being one of those characters that can use speed very well. When you have the pancakes available to you and you have a little bit of power, Julie becomes really oppressive. And then the Vice being locked in for the midfielder of Demons. Oh, do I have? Okay, so it is Vice.
No,
I had a flip. I don't know why I keep getting a flip this time around. It was blue side for Demons RAAAAHH last time. So taking a look, let me go through this mentally again. Aimi, Estelle, Juliet for Calamities, and then Raw has the Luna, Asher, and Vice. So
you got it.
It's one thing that's so interesting is that this is the comp that I was expecting Calamities to pick, and it was picked by Demons RAAAAHH.
Yeah. It's certainly an interesting look for them. They haven't been the Vice team, at least the most of the time that I've gotten to see them. So it's interesting to see that one come across. And then, yeah, I assume it's going to be Aimi goalie, Estelle midfield when it's Cosmic Calamities, but definitely a big change of look for them as well. The Asher, interesting to see picked so early, especially into the Aimi. So a lot of ranged characters up against this Asher that might make it a little bit tough for her to really take advantage of some of the powers that she brings.
Yeah, and as we get loaded in, we'll have everyone do the in-game draft. Card box will be on the Aimi, which means Natty is on the Estelle. We'll have access to a little bit more range. We'll not be opting in for a melee goalie this time around, and it'll be 3Z on the Juliet. Looking at the other side, we have Kainoob on the Luna goalie, with Snake and Hungry Boy being the forward duo, with Asher and Vice, and then Vice having that Deadeye. So let's see how the damage will come through, if this is going to be a bloodbath or not. Kainu flying in immediately, 90% of Cardbox's health depleted within a second of the point starting. Snake looking for the KO, manages to find it onto Cardbox, getting some stacks as well. And now we already have, within 15 seconds, a 3v2 situation here on Atlas's lab point 1.
Yep, really good pressure coming on through here. Snake going to be sent on down towards the bottom, taking a fair chunk of damage, but not able to take any barriers for it yet. Natty, great defense so far, will be pushed on back finally, and it is that Estelle goalie you were talking about, so not going to have all the goalie tools in the world, and not something that we traditionally see in that position, but doing a solid job so far, being able to keep up the defense. 3Z finding a stagger there on towards the Snake, trying to keep him outside of the play. There's going to be that Supernova channeled by Hungry Boy, but going in the wrong direction and ending up taking a barrier on his own goal. 3Z getting pushed back away by Kainoob. Kainoob going to use the energy burst. A KO found by Cardbox up at the top, and now going to be sent on into the goal. 3Z ready for a quick strike down. Kainoob can't get to it in time.
Yeah, the KO onto the top there, opening up a 3v2 play. 3Z was staggered, but still managing to find the goal with the help of Cardbox and Natty. And we can see the benefit of the Estelle goalie here is, rather than all the defense that we've been so used to, can provide a lot of the offensive pressure, taking out so much of Hungry Boy's health. But at the same time, we see how difficult it can be to defend against something like an Asher there, who has that path splitter, the piercing light, to help force through all these things. As the KO comes out, second KO comes out, 3Z Breezy looking for a shot. Luna ultimate dropped. Can Kainoob defend against 3v1 here? Isn't able to get it. Little Luna trying her best.
It's too tough. I don't want to end up in that position. Oh, excuse me. When you go for the Luna goalie, as just so hard to defend up against multiple aggressors right up in your face. You really want to be able to support your teammates, keep the offense rolling for as long as possible, take some big headers into the goal with the boost. But when you're forced into those tough defensive scenarios, that is not going to be the goalie of choice most of the time, and Kainoob struggling in that very scenario right then and there. Hungry Boy falling on back, trying to help out the rest of the squad. And Cardbox taken so very low. Second barrier falls very quickly. 3Z with the Flame Flurry right up in their face, and Cardbox just takes it through. It's 3-0 Cosmic Calamities.
A great energy burst from Cardbox prevents him from getting stunned from the Vice Thunderstruck, and then, the secondary there, and then kind of splits the C with the energy burst itself and finding the path into the victory of set number 1. We have Natty first pick here, has his pickings, can't really deny a Size Awakening because both of them are available, opts in for the Spark instead, but it's going to be a Knife's Edge going over to 3Z Breezy instead. You don't really want that going onto the Juliet, who is looking for dash punches, and to dash punch someone, they need to be close to the edge, and that is where Juliet thrives. Instead, we'll get the Adrenaline Rush for all the KOs coming out. A really good denial in general, because with the Deadeye start, there's so many KOs happening. You want to be the team with the Ad Rush. Besides that, Hungry Boy will get some size, and then Kainoob will get the Fight or Flight. But in general, I think you're really happy here if you are Calamity. Getting size on Aimi makes the Cyber Swipe bigger, and also just having size in general on your midfielder is always fun to have. It makes the strike wars much easier when you have more size to work with.
And 3Z proccing the Adrenaline Rush there, finding the KO up for the top, and now taking it in towards both barriers. Cardbox bringing in the damage with that larger Cyber Swipe, and nearly able to take it in for the goal. Still ricocheting off the center. Cardbox moving it over, trying to get it into 3Z's hands for a quick dash punch victory to be able to keep their win streak alive. Stagger onto 3Z, but the Cyber Swipe from Cardbox sends it right where they need it. That's 4 in a row. Cosmic Calamities.
And that's the benefit of the additional size from Built Different. You're able to hit stun and also reach the core in that situation to redirect when coming through with the Cyber Swipe. Starting off 4 points in a row for Cosmic Calamities, I'm pretty sure. They haven't dropped one yet, and they're looking pretty good. 3Z Breezy trying to get his stacks fully up, gets that health orb from the enemy side, but Kainoob, you can see the way 3Z is playing. He's trying to position himself in front of Kainoob to prevent the abilities from going through, but he's still taking a lot of damage for this. Has to go back, step out of the play for a little bit as Cardbox walks up, tries to get the glitch pop to break the barrier here, forced to use the elusive to not die to the Luna ultimate. Snake getting shot down, but at least has the health orb to help bring him back up a little bit. No healing available for any side of this team. No Atlas, no Now. So members will fall, but one of them has the Adren Rush. Let's see if 3Z will start getting these procs and start flying.
Uh-oh, 3Z, yeah, not quite going to be able to get out of the Thunder, but there's going to be a KO traded back immediately by Kainoob, and it's going to be 2 versus 2 on the map for the time being. Natty getting a little bit of damage there onto Hungry Boys. Both teams wait in for the respawns. First going to come out across. It's Snake back out of the field. 3Z's here as well, nearly proccing the Ad Rush again, but the KO is found, and Hungry Boy is still standing. He refuses to drop, and they will be able to hang for now. Snake waiting right there to be able to send it through. It's actually Hungry Boy with the Thunderstruck that pushes it through and breaks the loss streak. Demons RAAAAHHH on the board.
First point finally going over their way. The KOs are coming through left and right, but the Brawlers seem to be the one taking the fall. Their pancakes aren't able to stack up at all. If anything, maybe it was better for them to take the Deadeye. Snake with the Deadeye on Asher is actually a really, really strong pick because you can proc Deadeye from the secondary and the primary while dashing. And the same thing you can do with Juliet as well. But as I say that, another KO comes out. 3Z Breezy fallen. 2-1 lead for Demons RAAAAHH as they try to turn things around and get their first set win.
Wow. And Snake closes that out so quickly. He doesn't even need to use the energy burst either, and so it's going to be a 2-1 lead to Demons RAAAAHH. And what was looking like a Cosmic Calamity sweep is very quickly changing its tone here. Snake going to be able to take the first of the barriers, setting up for a second, ends up back passing it, knows that he's not going to be able to get it past 3 defenders. It's Cardbox throwing out the glitch pop here, knocking aside Hungry Boy, trying to give this core a pathway out. Now 3Z finding the KO, taking Snake off the map, getting the Adrenaline Rush, but Hungry Boy looking to take it all the way home while he's there. 3Z does manage to pass it on up, gets it onto the other side of the crater, and will be able to take a barrier for it. Cardbox coming into the bottom. Snake is back up, though, and Snake is trying to guide it back away. 3Z not going to be able to get it onto that barrier. Cardbox passes it on down. There's going to be the boost coming on through from Kainoob. Still not able to push it past. Hungry Box comes on out, sends it forward to Snake. Natty fires out another piercing shot, moves them further away. 3Z going to be able to take it into this barrier, looking for the goal, finds it. 2-2, going to point number 5 in set number 2.
Bringing things back up, Demons RAAAAHH looking good the last 2 points, but the KOs are now leading the way of Calamities as they've been finding the Adren Rush procs, and 3Z Breezy with all that movement speed, it is hard for Luna to defend. You actually don't even need abilities at that point when you're that fast. You can kind of just maneuver around the Luna and try to break it, but Demons RAAAAHH coming out strong this time around. Luna ultimate comes down, all the abilities coming through, both barriers drop, card box looking low, no elusive available. Hungry Boy trying to go back and pick up the health orb, unable to get the ball moving forward, but it is now 3Z and Cardbox who have to get the offensive pressure coming through if they want to. Oh my god, a great clear from behind the back from Kainoob there. Gotta give him props for that. And now we need to break the second barrier if we want Calamities to have a shot going in 2-0 strong into this next one. But it is the combination of abilities of Vice and Luna that takes 3Z out. 3v2. Barrier is alive. Snake looking low. Going around a little bit of a black hole there as through 2 more seconds until 3Z is back up. And the KO comes from Hungry Boy to extend the power play even more. I don't even know what's going on, Gordo.
Yeah, really good trades back and forth, and now another KO found by Snake. The numbers advantage for Demons RAAAAHH. They move up to tie it up in game number 3, 1 set apiece.
A super close set there, and the points were just KO after KO after KO. Demons RAAAAHH unrelenting there, getting their kill streak going forward, constantly keeping at a 3v2. Luna first pick here, doesn't really have much, has the extra special available to them, probably takes that. Besides that, Aimee, Super Surge, extending that range of the secondary, the Cyber Swipe, and enhancing the damage paired with a Deadeye works really well. I like to take away from Juliet being one of those characters that can utilize Catalyst so well. I like to take away from that going on to Hungry Boy, and then Sparks being brought all around. Going in for the Spark of Resilience, which is going to give 450 stagger there to 3Z, bringing him up to around 2,000 stagger. And then Snake, last pick, getting the Spark of Agility instead. Only 1 spark left, which is Spark of Strength. All 3 sparks are available. The KO coming through. Snake missing his dash punch on the Asher, gets sniped down by Natty, and on the offensive 3v2 play, Cardbox, Natty, and 3Z score the point.
And that is going to be such a massive play just from the side of Cosmic Calamities. They get everything at once. They get the KO, they get both barriers, they turn it into the score, and now they're down a member. As Demons RAAAAHH continues to find these KOs so quickly and so aggressively, and then they're able to convert them into these points so consistently, but not this time. 3Z gonna be able to fight back, gonna be able to get the ad rush for himself. They do lose both barriers in the process. Will they be able to turn it into the double for themselves to keep things even? Cardbox for them to get back on over to 3Z, but 3Z gonna be the one who falls to another boost from Kainoob. Snake coming back out, advancing towards the goal. Sentry Turret going to do a little bit of work from Cardbox to be able to buy them a little bit of additional time to prevent that goal from coming on through. And now 3Z back on the board. It's a 3-on-3 yet again. It gets snuck past Kainoob, whose boost doesn't connect onto anything. 3Z throwing himself into that flurry, going to be able to find the second barrier and going to be able to open up the goal for the team. But Snake guiding it up through the top. Really good footwork there, holding on to the core, dribbling it back and forth, but not able to get it on into the goal. It's Cardbox trying to find a shot now. Natty clearing it back out with the piercing shot, sends it back over with that strike shot, and still not going to be able to get it on into the goal. Hungry Boy moving forward towards the goal. Cardbox skipped over by Kainoob as he goes in for a boost to take a shot of his own. Boost will not be enough. Cardbox sending it from midfield, getting back over to 3Z, not able to use the dash punch. Be able to take it in for the goal, and the numbers advantage is back over to Demons RAAAAHH. Hungry Boy with the flip available, passes it on up, disrupted by Natty, who uses his own flip to push it away. Barrier beam not going to get it through. 3Z Breezy back on the respawn. Deep into overtime now, as a lead could be established here for Cosmic Calamities. Not quite going to be enough with the Supernova. A KO found by 3Z. He's in the adrenaline rush, and he takes it home. 2-0 for Cosmic Calamities.
The MVP of that point was Natty. The defense that was coming out from him, oh my goodness. Just never letting anything through. Natty playing that point perfectly on Estelle. This guy who has been known for his defensive goalies on the Asher, on the Atlas, on the Mako, coming through and putting on a whole performance on the Estelle. Absolutely love to see it. And with that type of play, Demons RAAAAHH looking, or sorry, oh my goodness, Demons RAAAAHH did not like what I was talking about.
No, not at all.
Just
They take Natty
eliminated
right off the
Natty.
map. Oh, Cardbox saves it! Hanging on up against Snake. Hungry Boy going to send it back through. 1 second to go until Natty's back on the map, and they keep the defense going. Cosmic Calamities are able to hold on for so long, and then as soon as the respawn's there, the goal comes through for Demons.
Still a 2-1 lead, but yeah, Natty was taken out so early, and we saw how quickly that point went. Maybe Demons RAAAAHHH are catching on to a little bit of a potential strategy here if they want to start scoring more points. 2-1 lead, like I said before. As one barrier drops, the second warrior falls. You hate to see it as both barriers fall at the same time. 3Z trying to find one. Not able to get one, tries to get the setup there, but Cardbox with a great super search setup. Oh my goodness, a great play there from Kainoob, redirecting it after the boost, sending it up to the top corner, even with Snake falling. It does not matter there. It is 2-2. The person who takes this will take the lead in the set and the series as of right now. It's not over yet, but it's going back and forth, Gerda.
It is going back and forth so close. 1-1 would be or already is the set score line. A huge advantage to whoever is going to be able to take it. KO already found here for Cosmic Calamities. Will they be able to close out? Hungry Boy back onto the field. And a move on forward. Snake going to be able to take the KO. Both barriers fall. Hungry Boy passing it back over to Snake. Looking for one more barrier beam to take it into the goal, but Natty going to be able to fend it away back down towards the bottom. It's 3Z Breezy looking for a breakaway. Can't get it in towards the goal. 3Z moving on towards the bottom. Cardbox coming in to support him. One more strike would be able to send it through. It's not enough on its own, and a KO found on the opposite side. It's 3Z no longer going to be a part of a play. There's going to be the glitch pop coming on through. Somehow Cardbox was able to find a KO for himself. Both brawlers off the map. Respawn for 3Z. Gonna be here first. 3Z coming back out. Kainoob boosts forward, trying to find himself a shot on the goal. Not gonna be able to get it in there. And Sneak, no, not gonna be able to sneak it through one more time. It's going to actually be Hungry Boy back here, fending with 3Z Breezy, trying to move himself over towards the goal. Another KO found by Cardbox. An empty goal. Back in time to get the flip, but it's not enough. 3Z Breezy dash punches forward and takes the set for Cosmic Calamities.
Hungry Boy with so many KOs that point. KO after KO, finding that Super Search Deadeye Amy plus the build different, which has the impact damage on top of it as well, providing so much pressure, so much KO potential. And now we're going into a lead for Calamities here as the hot shot goes over to Natty, which is going to make these piercing shots go through so much faster. The 1-2 punch over on the Luna, the KO potential is unreal. Paired that with the Deadeye, Stagger Swagger over to the Imi. Hungry Boy will be picking that up, and then the Prize Fighter onto Juliet. A good Dash Awakening goes over to Hungry Boy. Sorry, the Cardbox will be taking the Stagger Swagger. Hungry Boy will be taking the Explosive Entrance, which will help all the abilities of Vice, but also increase that dash range, which means that one of the plays you can do with Vice is shoot your secondary onto the enemy goalie, and it really puts them in a checkmate position where they're forced to either eat the damage or elusive and then not have it up for a potential rebound play.
Definitely. Cardbox getting it back over to 3Z, trying to take it in towards that barrier. Moving forward is Kainoob, nearly able to take it on in towards the barrier, and Snake going to be able to take the top one. Another crater, almost called a boost, from Kainoob, getting a lot of damage onto Cardbox and 3Z, but they will be able to reach it back up with the orbs without too much trouble. Snake pressuring for the bottom barrier, will be able to take it. Hungry Boy knocked aside by 3Z, and 3Z trying to get it back on up towards the goal. There's the flip coming on through from Hungry Boy. They're not going to be able to find the KO thanks to 3Z Breezy, but Hungry Boy very low on HP, finds a supernova and gets his revenge in an instant. 3Z Breezy taken down, but Cardbox able to move it back over. He's going to be able to find the barrier with this bounce as well. He's got the flip. He tries to take it 1 versus 2. Can't send it home. Hungry Boy going to be able to fend it back away with another Thunderstruck, but 3Z Breezy's already respawned and he's back onto the field. There's Kainoob finding his boost, connecting with the core and sending it in past Natty.
I mean, Natty was doing a phenomenal job of holding on, but when he was staggered for that long, it's so tough. 3Z losing his stacks on both the Pancakes and the Prize Fighter, comes back and is now Cardbox. Oh my goodness, Cardbox running for his life. Runs to the edge, tries to pull the Oppa Bug tech, isn't able to get his life spared for it. Natty jumping in with the Rose Warp, but loses his barrier for it, trying to make an aggressive play, unable to at least manages to get one barrier for it, tries to find the other one, isn't able to connect. Cardbox back, tries to go for the 2v3 play, or the Oh my goodness. Oh, the middle expansion popped. 3Z Breezy looking for a play here. He's so slow with no pancake stack. Hardbox trying to do his best. Down to nothing. Stagger Swagger activated, going back all the way to his net to help play. A good strike shot coming from Natty to help set this up. Oh my goodness. The extended missile duration because of the strike shot and the aerials makes it so that the Thorns go all the way down and gets the rebound over to 3Z, breaks the second barrier. Hardbox looking low, has the Stagger Swagger pop. 3Z with no elusive, trying to get into a play, but has to send it into open space there. Isn't able to really connect with anything. You can see how he's playing in the middle of the map, but it is the Vice? Was that the Vice ultimate that sent it mid?
That was the Vice ultimate, yeah. The Supernova knocking it off the top, off the bottom, into the goal. It finds its KO, but it also gets an own goal in the process. And 2 points away from a Cosmic Calamities victory and a 3-0 start to the NASL season. Starts off with a double barrier. Back over to Cosmic Calamities. 3Z Breezy marching on towards the bottom, but Snake trying to take it back over to the left.
Manages to dig it out there. Natty doing a good job. Almost, I mean, that could have slid in, but kind of plenty fast. Is able to get it out. Snake trying to hold on to the energy burst, but uses it a little too late there. Isn't able to catch it. Trying to pop the middle because that would benefit Calamities a little bit more if they can just kind of force it through with the Estelle primary. But they're doing a good job of defending the middle from being broken. A good set of strikes, manages to get the second barrier here, and now Snake walking up, doing its best. 3Z has nothing available, is still alive. Thunderstruck comes down. Not able to do it. Cardbox sends it down, kind of with the boost. Has to blow it just to get the rebound there. Will not have it available to him. The primary rocket also down. And now it is just a matter of if 3Z can live long enough and if the core can make its way over, or if the core can just be sent so fast that no one can deal with it and it just slides through.
That is going to be the question here. Snake stepping forward, looking for that extra use of the dash punch for himself. 3Z with a flurry off the top, not going to be able to get it past Kainoob, not getting the good shots on goal that he needs to be able to close it out. Snake going to knock him away with one more dash in, but look at that path taken along the sentry turret. One more punch from 3Z takes it home, and 1 point away are Cosmic Calamities from the win.
Looking really tough here. Doesn't really have the prize fighter stacks, but it doesn't need it as well. 3Z doing a good job of redirecting that last shot at the end. Gets one barrier. Are they able to get the other one? Yes, able to get it the other one with Hungry Boy sending in the strike. Snake sitting right on top of Natty, trying to make sure he has no breathing room here and not use any ability to tank the Thorns, to tank all the shots. But Natty doing a good job of still finding his way to clear through with the primary. Strikes it out of Snake's hands. Tanks the crater. And the play is still alive just fine, but we need to get the other barrier if Calamities wants to score here.
Yeah, might be really well going to 0.5 as Cosmic Calamities try to find their way to close things out. 3Z still with some resources left available. Snake so low, though, on Stagger. 3Z could try to take him out for the ad rush proc. Instead, 3Z's going to be the one who finds himself staggered. Cardbox able to cyber swipe his way forward to take the barrier. 3Z's lost the one-on-one on the other side. Snake stealing away orbs, stacking up resources, going for the flip, and taking it to 0.5.
And the KO on 3Z opening up the path. I do think 3Z has to play those craters a little bit better. You have plenty of time to position yourself. If you position it so that you are in between the corner and the crater, you will not die. You will just bounce off the corner there. And that's the second time 3Z has fallen to that. But a quick start to this point with a crater and the supernova allows both barriers to drop 2-0 in terms of barriers. Can they make it to one barrier fallen? One more barrier to go as Snake is standing with full pancakes there, doing his best with the knife's edge to just keep the pressure onto Natty, and it is Demons RAAAAHHH.
Great disruption. Natty finding the strike shot, able to knock it away from the pass and take that second barrier single-handedly. Now Cardbox is stepping forward, looking for one more shot, not able to get it through. 3Z so low on Stagger, can't be the threat that he needs to be. Lands the flurry on a Snake, but the health bars are so different. 3Z is gone. It's a 3 versus 2 for Demons RAAAAHHH, looking to stay alive in this series, and they will take it to set 5.
The cord coming through, the power cord coming through with the extra hit. The chain lightning touching it and just slowly creeping in is one of the things you hate to see when you're against Vice. It is so frustrating. And now we're going to a set 5. It could be a set 5.5, the final set of the series. As we take a look at what's being picked up here, a great pickup of the the Unstoppable there going over to Luna. The second Stagger Awakening, or sorry, the second Spark, and a Spark of Strength being picked up over to Natty, which is going to help increase the Spark of Focus, which means more CDR and more power. Asher getting that perfect form, and then Egoist. Does he have the Catalyst? No, the Catalyst is on Hungry Boy. And then besides that, a Rapid Fire onto Hungry Boy, which is going to be a great pickup. I mean, both teams got something good. 3Z not really getting something that he wants. Doesn't have the best Julia Awakening build in general, but everyone else on the side of Calamities has something pretty solid.
Yeah, really good stuff there so far. And a nice bit of damage coming on to 3Z, finding himself staggered so early in the set for the upteenth time in this game number 3. Hardbox sending it down towards the bottom. Snake gets it back over to 3Z. 3Z looking to be able to take it in towards the barrier, but he is stunned up and nearly KO'd onto the bottom corner. Natty going to be able to send it back on up with those Crystal Thorns, going to be able to find that barrier. But it's a KO found onto 3Z. Hardbox at a numbers disadvantage as he looks to take it back onto an aggressive stance, looks to move things back in towards the goal. Hungry Boy channeling the Supernova, not going to connect onto anything, but going to be able to prevent any of those clears from coming on through. Natty taking it up towards the top at risk of getting KO'd by Snake. Will be able to get himself back out of it in time. 3Z going to be able to dribble it back up the top. Hungry Boy sending it back over to Natty. Natty not going to be able to defend that last barrier. And it's Snake passing it down to Hungry Boy, looking for another Thunderstruck. 3Z with the goal in his hands, looking to move forward into the goal. Not going to be able to do it, though. Snake going to be able to steal it back away. Snake stepping forward, looking for one more shot on the goal. Not going to be able to take it in. It's one more shot from Cardbox. In past the crater, into the goal. 1-0 for him.
The Cyber Swipe, Deadeye, Super Surge, built different. Aimi jumping right in and manages to get the shot, giving them the lead. And now going into this set, we have barriers being fallen one at a time so far. Second one comes through. Hungry Boy manages to find it with the strike, and now Gold Gate's wide open. Natty has to defend this open net here. One barrier at least being traded right back as the boost comes in, unable to find it, but kind of providing that offensive pressure. 3Z Breezy is just getting bullied here in the midfield, but manages to find the second barrier here as Cardbox, oh my goodness, almost gets one shot. Has to look for a position to use the energy bridge, tries to find it onto Snake, is able to get it with the help of Natty and the Cyber Swipe, gets the KO, and now with 3v2 onto the net here. If Kainoob can defend, has to wait 5 seconds for Snake to come back. Cardbox shot on the bottom, takes it, manages to get it. 2-0 lead for Calamities.
Good play from Cardbox in this set number 5 so far. Now up 2-0, having found both goals. One more, and Cosmic Calamities are going to be 3-0. They're going to have taken down the reigning NASL champs in Demons RAAAAHHH. Whatever roster iteration you want, they'll have won a game against each of them. And they just need to take it one goal further. Cardbox takes the first of the barriers, throws on down the sentry, barely staying alive, but staying alive nonetheless. 3Z Breezy setting up to move in towards that barrier, but it does get cleared back away by Kainoob. Snake going to be able to move back on over and try to take one for himself. They can hang on for now, but Cardbox gets the KO yet again, dribbling the core back to himself, getting it back into 3Z's hands. They take the barrier, strike shot to put it back into position. Snake with the flip available. A dodge going to be forced out by Kainoob's boost. A respawn for Hungry Boy, going to give them another shot. 3Z going to try to beat on him while he's in the channel. Cardbox gets it back on over. 3Z setting up for the dash punch, doesn't get the core in it, but does knock back away Kainoob for the time being. Back in off the center. Kainoob trying to find the score. Has to blink back with the eject button. And 3Z dueling with Hungry Boy now, trying to get it back over. Cardbox going to be able to find it with a Cyber Swipe, trying to move it back over to 3Z's hands. Not going to be able to find the shot quite yet. 3Z dash punches once again. He does not find the core, but Cardbox is keeping control over the center, and Kainoob can't find the save. It's a goal to 3Z Breezy. It's a 3-0 set number 5. Cosmic Calamities are 3-0.
Cosmic Calamities with an undefeated record in NASL Week 3, taking down Sad Boys, taking down Modern Magic, and now taking down both iterations of Demons RAAAAHH with and without Gumi. So no one can say that they did not deserve this win, as they managed to defeat some of the best teams in NASL historically and are now going to be at the top of the leaderboard as they finish up the rest of their split. Taking a look at the stats here, I mean, I have to say, I was so impressed with Natty on this Estelle goalie. I think he did a phenomenal job. My vote for MVP of this series, or at least this game, has to go to Natty. Just known for his defensive goalies, not really known for his other picks. Pulled out the Estelle and just went insane. And even with that, Cardbox on the Aimi doing a phenomenal job. And then I know 3Z was playing a little bit of League of Legends ARAM there, as he didn't have as many defensive awakenings to help himself keep alive. But when the core came to him, he did what needed to be done and managed to score.
Really good good stuff there. A 2-1 win for Cosmic Calamities will move them up towards the top of the leaderboard, like you said. And now the conversation has to begin. They are the team to beat in NASL Season 5. Gonna have sole possession up there. We'll see if there can be another 3-0 team once this week is done for, as Ares Kitten Club could match them up there. They are going to have a game later, or coming right up next, actually. They're going to be up against Return to Form, where they will be favored. So we very well may end up with 2 3-0 teams, but that is going to be a hell of a conversation to have, especially with those two teams not playing each other for a long time. That won't be until week number 8.
And then regardless, we were talking about a little bit earlier in the series, the way the split is being played out, or the season's being played out, Gordo, where a lot of these names that were previously expected to take the wins are no longer the case. Everyone's leveling up, teams are getting better, synergy is happening. Maybe it's time for the older generation. Their hands are too old. I know Kainoob is like 18 years old. Maybe he's done. He doesn't have it anymore in him. Gumi's, I think, 19 or 20. It's like, it's over. You might as well retire at this point. So it's time for a new generation.
It very well might be. It's the hands, they aren't here for all of us anymore, Mystics. So we will find out. Definitely going to be a exciting season, though. Love what we have got going on here so far. That is going to do it for our block, though. We're going to move on to some other casters as we get into Return to Form versus Ares Kitten Club up next and find out whether this is going to be a season with 2 3-0 teams after week 3 or just the one in Cosmic Calamities. So don't go anywhere. Stream will be back before too long.